Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus channel. In 2001, the French Air and Space Force officially introduced the long-awaited Dassault Rafale multi-role fighter jet. The project resulting in this revolutionary aircraft began all the way back in 1986. But budget constraints and extensive testing and retesting held up the production of the aircraft for over a decade. The focus of the Rafale has always been on agility. It features a large delta-wing design as well as signature coupled canards on the front end of the fuselage. The canards also help reduce minimum landing speed to as low as 115 knots, which is virtually unheard of for any powered airplane. Still, the Rafale is, first and foremost, a fighter jet, boasting a max speed of Mach 1.8 and 14 hardpoints for missiles, rockets, bombs, and other weapons. Dassault designed several variants of the Rafale so that the aircraft could operate effectively from land and sea. The aircraft carrier model is known as the Rafale M, or F3R. It has a reinforced airframe, longer nose gear, and a tailhook at the back of the fuselage between the twin engines. Here, you can see a Rafale landing and take off from the USS Harrier Truman. This was during a joint exercise with the French Navy. The footage clearly displays the aircraft's ability to reach prolonged speeds without stalling. The M also boasts a stronger undercarriage to deal with the stress of these short-distance landings. Aside from the delta-wing design and forward canards, one of the easiest ways to recognize the Rafale is its permanent refueling probe. Though many aircraft feature a retractable version, the Rafale's probe was designed to remain in place so as to maximize internal space. The probe is fully aerodynamic and does not cause any significant drag. More importantly, it allows the Rafale to refuel mid-flight, greatly expanding its impressive 1,150 to 2,300 mile range.
Wind up. In the basket.
Here, French airmen refuel alongside a B-52 bomber, 2 U.S. Navy EA-65 Prowlers, and 2 F-15E Strike Eagles. Though in-air refueling has been around since the earliest days of military aircraft, it remains a crucial part of mission success. During the design and development of the Rafale, it's possible that Dassault took inspiration from another multi-role delta-wing fighter jet, the Swedish Saab JAS-39 Gripen. Here you can see a NATO tanker refueling a variety of coalition fighter jets, including a Gripen and multiple F-35s. Looking at footage of the Gripen, it's not hard to see the comparison between it and the Rafale. Though Sweden's design is lighter and only features a single engine, it has the same large area wing design and canards combination for increasing stability, especially during low-speed operation. The Gripen has been in service since 1996. Yet it remains a highly advanced military aircraft capable of some pretty incredible feats. The newest versions, known as the E and F variants, are capable of reaching speeds of more than 1,530 miles per hour and has a range of over 2,000 miles. Its takeoff and landing distance can be reduced to under 2,000 feet thanks to the aircraft's high-lift design. Like the Rafale, the canards help make the Gripen highly maneuverable. The aircraft has been known to fly at angles of attack as high as 80 degrees and to turn at rates approaching 9 Gs. Here, you can see a Hungarian Air Force JAS-39 escorting a B-52 Stratofortress from the US's 96th Bomb Squadron. Missions like these are common among Allied countries, as it helps simulate a real global response to threats. It also gives U.S. Air Force personnel a chance to see some of their partner countries' very best military hardware up close and personal. Of all the unique aircraft manufactured over the past 70 years, few have earned the impressive reputation of the AV-8B Harrier jump jet. Developed by collaborations between U.S. companies like McDonnell Douglas and the British Aerospace Division, the Harrier is a short or vertical takeoff and landing aircraft with some very impressive capabilities. And though it was first introduced back in 1969 as the AV-8A Harrier, first designed by Hawker Siddeley for the British Royal Navy, collaborations between the U.S. companies and the British Aerospace Division have kept this revolutionary aircraft in service to this day. The Harrier was one of the first military planes capable of taking off and landing vertically, which is where it gets the nickname jump jet. It does this by redirecting its engine exhaust downward through vents placed throughout the fuselage. This is one of the many reasons it's perfect for naval use. It can slow down to a near crawl in order to execute landings and alter the flow of its thrust to perform impressive short takeoffs. The U.S. Marines are the sole operator of the new and improved Harrier II inside the United States. This updated design is well suited to multi-role combat, including air-to-air and air-to-ground missions. Thanks to its unique takeoff and landing capabilities, the Marines can take their Harriers virtually anywhere. Over the years, the Harrier has earned a reputation for being rather maintenance-intensive. Its landing gear, which contains special hydraulics to absorb the impact of vertical landings, must be carefully maintained and inspected to avoid serious damage to the aircraft fuselage and undercarriage. The vertical takeoff vents also require close inspection and maintenance by specially trained technicians, as these are not located on any other military aircraft. Here you can see Marine maintenance techs aboard the USS Boxer amphibious assault ship performing regular maintenance on a Harrier II. Though these WASP-class vessels are not aircraft carriers, they typically have a complement of fighter jets, including as many as 6 Harriers. Though both the U.S. Marines and the U.K. Royal Air Force and Navy have Harriers, it's important to understand that these are essentially 2 different planes. The British Harrier is known as the GR9 and has nearly identical dimensions to the U.S. AV-8B. The U.S. Marine version is negligibly faster, boasting a slightly different version of the Rolls-Royce Pegasus engine. However, the original GR9 did not possess radar. It also intended almost exclusively to act as a ground attack plane. Where the Harrier II can perform both air-to-air and air-to-ground roles when needed. There's no escaping that the 2 aircraft are effective offensive weapons, but members of the Royal Air Force, Royal Navy, and Marines may disagree as to which is the superior plane. In the end, no single country has a monopoly on air superiority. Since NATO was founded back in 1949, member states have frequently shared technology and partnered to create new technology. At the same time, member countries continue to foster good relations and teamwork through joint exercises and drills. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.